Those of you that truly believe you have seen a cryptid. What's your story? Way too late, but I posted this deep in a comment thread much further down, so I may as well put it here too. I was on a ferry for a school softball trip off Kodiak Island, AK 2014. I was 18. A whole bunch of us had snuck up to the deck around 11 p.m. to watch the waves and smoke cigarettes and weed and generally be teenagers on a boat without supervision. It was 11 p.m. in May in Alaska, so the sun was thinking about setting, but it was still pea bright outside. So we're just doing our thing and we notice a pod of orcas swimming with the ferry's wake, which is cool but not, like, unusual. If you're familiar with the dimensions of an orca fin, you know they're about 4 to 6 feet in height and look like big black spikes coming out of the water. They travel and hunt in pods of anywhere between 15 to 40 whales. Apex predators. The beautiful demon murderers of the sea. Total assholes. Top of the food chain. So we saw a pod of orcas, counted them to be around 10 to 15, with some babies scattered in there. Very fun to watch, took them a good 30 minutes to all go by. We tried to get pictures, but it was just dark enough that our shitty phone cameras weren't much good. Another 30 or 40 minutes go by and we've all pretty much sobered up and it's about to get dark and we're cold and sleepy and about ready to go in. No more orcas, haven't seen one for like half an hour, and then one of my JV girls spots another one. So we all turn and look, but one dorsal fin is immediately followed by another, and another, and another, and then two more after that, in 2 separate rows, and they're taller, by a lot, and jagged, like some have whole chunks torn out of them, and they're all 8 to 10 feet high. And they're all attached to one creature, and we can just barely see its back slicing through the water, covered in these rows of spikes, and it just keeps coming. This thing is like 20 or 30 feet from the ferry running parallel to it, and we are all transfixed. There's like 9 or 10 of us and no one is saying a word because we've all turned to look at a whale and we are all now watching something that is like, horrifically, terrifyingly obviously not a whale. Someone tries to take a picture but it's too dark at this point and the only reason we can see this thing is the light cast from ferry portholes. Take as old as time when it comes to things that you really fucking wish you had a picture of. But we all stand there completely scared, fucking stiff and in awe, and we watch this thing just keep surfacing for a good 6 or 7 minutes, which means that whatever it was long. Like 60 or 70 feet long. Or longer. And covered in enormous spikes. Spikes that looked like they'd won thousands of battles with God knows what. It took what felt like an eternity for any of us to say anything after the last of it disappeared back into the strait. I mean, if you and like 8 of your friends had just all seen something that all science had definitely pointed to not existing, and you had all seen the same exact thing, and it was very obviously trailing, nay, hunting, not one but 15-something apex fucking predators, what do you even say to break that silence? That's the thing that eats me about the whole thing, is it was hunting? It was following them. It was literally hunting about 60 tons of toothy, angry, intelligent apex predator. Every once in a while one of us will hit another one of us up and check in, like, do you remember this? Was I hallucinating? Did we all see the same, insane, worldview melting, terrifying thing that night? And the reason I know we did is BC none of us talked about it after that, not during the trip, not after, not to any of our friends. BC, how the fuck do you even tell someone about something like that? Now we have almost 10 years between us and that night I assume some of them have probably told people. I know I tell people, because I've seen a lot of shit like that in Alaska and I'm that bitch. And also BC, there's a very rich history among native Alaskans of a something that lives and hunts in the waters around Kodiak and it's important to tell its story. BC, someday it's gonna eat a little too much plastic and no one will ever watch it hunt a pod of orcas from a boat ever again.